There's all the triggers. So we're gonna get a bunch of stuff back. D-Mandy's gonna lose a whole bunch of life and draw a lot of cards. I'm sure that'll be very scary. We're down to 4 lands, which is pretty terrible. Even the mono blue deck is on 8 lands. Today on Commander Replay, we check out this Colfenor Modular deck and find out if we can survive a Tromokratis. Next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have one new Patreon supporter, and Faultier. Faultier, you are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon, link below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Colfenor The Last U Modular Tribal today. And today's deck list comes to us from Patreon supporter Nate. Let's take a look at this opener. 2 lands, 2 signets, Skullclamp seems good. I think that works. So yeah, we're playing Colfenor The Last U today, a card that I've wanted to revisit for quite a while. I played a fairly janky version of it back when it first came out, being Treefolk Tribal, but it's a pretty interesting commander. I think it tends to lend itself to a lot of things that Abzan already does really well. I think it has a lot of overlap with Carador, which probably holds back the popularity of Colfenor just a little bit, because I think Carador is still a teeny bit stronger, but Colfenor is certainly very interesting and definitely a fun card. So anyway, it's a 6 mana 3/7 with Vigilance and Reach, and when it or another creature you control dies, return up to 1 target creature card with lesser toughness from your graveyard to your hand. That should be pretty cool with the modular ability, because theoretically you should be able to get back the creature that just died, because it'll be smaller in the graveyard than it is in play. And yeah, seems pretty cool. I'm interested to see what we can do with this thing. Anyway, it brings it to our first turn. Let's get this Triome into play tapped, and that'll set us up for a untapped Sunpetal Grove next turn. I suppose we could have dropped the Ornithopter in right there, but I'm not too worried about it. Didn't think about it. Not used to having free creatures in my hand. Opponent gets themselves a Soul Ring on turn 1. Yeah, it's not the best. Not the best. Luckily, we have a decent amount of ramp, so we can hopefully kind of keep up with that a little bit. There's an Arcane Signet for the Ramos opponent, and a Mystic Remora. Ew. Well, they're going to be drawing some cards. They are going to be drawing some cards. Midnight Reaper coming in for opponent. Pretty good one. Especially in that deck, that's a sacrifice deck. We're a sacrifice deck also. Brings back to our turn, there's a Shield Sphere. Play the Sunpetal Grove, play the Shield Sphere, play the Ornithopter, play the Felwar Stone, and I'm undecided about the Skullclamp. I think I'm going to wait on the Skullclamp. I know we could cast it this turn, but, you know, I'm just going to wait and see if they don't pay for the Mystic Remora. I'm not sure if they'll pay for it. Now, if they do pay for it, we lose a teeny bit of tempo, but I'm trying to not just feed them a bunch of cards all at once. So, taking a look at our opponents today. First up, we have Dewubber piloting Tromokratis. Ew. 8 mana, 8/8, has hexproof unless it's attacking or blocking. Can't be blocked unless all creatures defending player controls blocks it. Kind of interesting. Legendary Kraken usually shows up in the sea creature tribal decks, Arixmethes and similar type commanders. You don't usually see it in the command zone, so this should be pretty interesting, actually. Curious to see what he does with it. I'm guessing it's just mono blue Voltron, though. I'm guessing that's the plan. Fish does pay for the Mystic Remora and gets themselves a Wood Elves. Follows that up with a Forest. Yeah, they're ahead. They're ahead. Undead Augur. Whenever it or another zombie you control dies, draw a card and lose life. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Shepherd of Rahat. Ooh, yeah, that's not a card you want to see. Each player loses 1 life for each zombie on the battlefield. Yeah, it's kind of nasty. And I'm going to send that Midnight Reaper over to Fish. They take the hit down to 35. There's an Esper Sentinel for us. That's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Play the Swamp. I guess Fish is going to get fed right here. Signet into the Mystic Remora. Can't pay. Get Esper Sentinel. Get Skullclamp. Also can't pay. Equip Skullclamp to, I guess, the Ornithopter. I don't want to kill the Esper Sentinel just yet. And we'll poke Fish. Maybe next turn. If we don't draw at all with the Esper Sentinel, maybe I will feed it. Yeah, I mean, we can get it back. We should be able to get it back really easily. So, yeah, maybe that's what we're doing. Opponent's going to crack a Myriad Landscape. Yep, that's a fine plan. Fortunately, it doesn't feed the Fish at all. There's a Child of Alara. They do let the Mystic Remora finally go. But, Child of Alara, kind of scary. We have a lot of permanents that it could blow up. They're going to poke the mono blue opponent. Sure. Definitely means I'm going to hang on to this Teshar for a little while, till after the Child of Alara. Ghoulcaller Gisa coming in. Yep. Brings it back to our turn. Arcbound Mouser is a card. You know, I think I'd rather feed that to the Skullclamp than a Esper Sentinel. So let's do that. Let's play the Arcbound Mouser. Put Skull Clamp. Well, I guess we could poke with Ornithopter first and then do all this stuff. I'm going to poke D-Manny right here. He's also pretty well set up, so... And at 40 life. Theoretically, if you put him low enough, he wouldn't be able to activate Shepherd of Rot at some point. We're a ways away from that being a thing, but, you know, we can start that process now with 1. The minimum damage. Then Skull Clamp the Mouser. Modular will trigger, and we get to put some counters on the Esper Sentinel, which I actually like a lot. Because now if people start casting non-creatures, it's going to be much tougher to pay. Use the ability. We draw a land, there's a land, play a land. We can play this Rayhan, Last of the Abzan. Let's go ahead and do that. Comes in with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. When it dies or is put into the command zone, if it had 1 or more counters on it, put that many on target creature. Essentially modular for non-artifacts. Then we'll put the Skull Clamp on the Esper Sentinel, since people do like to blow up Esper Sentinels, and also increases the power. Makes it harder to pay for that ability. So far, I'm really enjoying this. We need to draw a few more cards still. And I'll feel a lot better, because you kind of run your hand out there with all these 0 drops very quickly without having, like, tons of impact. But, you know, as this game gets going, we can draw a few, and then feeling pretty good. There's a Solemn Simulacrum for opponent. Unfortunately, not going to feed our Esper Sentinel at all. But getting themselves a creature and a land, and, you know, that's the perfect creature to play when there's a Child of Alara at the table. You're like, sure, you want to blow it up? I'll draw a card. Thanks. Continuing on our opponents, Fish Said Fish in the middle, piloting Ramos Dragon Engine, and they did say that this is their Lucky Charms deck. So expecting Ramos Charms. Deck I've seen a few times in the past. Ramos is just really strong, so if you're casting like 3 color cards, generally from what I've seen, you either get comboed out with like Omniscience or some nonsense like that, or they just beat you down with Ramos because it's huge and flying. Ramos is a pretty scary commander, to be completely honest. I mean, maybe it's not as scary as like some of the CEDH commanders flying around right now, but like it's still a very threatening commander, so there's that. Opponent casts an Urban Evolution. We draw a Gavany Township. Nice little pickup right there. That's off the Esper Sentinel trigger, so getting a little value going. Got our next land lined up, and we can get our commander in, so if this Child of Alara goes off, then we should just be able to get all of our stuff back, and that sounds awesome. Child of Alara going on the attack, coming our way. Let's see if there's any messages. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take that. I'm not quite... Yeah, we're not quite ready for this Child of Alara to go off yet, so... Oh, you want to... Oh, we could have just threw this thing in front of it. I'm an idiot. Normally, I don't have a Shield Sphere in play, so that's... Wow. Yeah, no, we could have definitely just thrown the Shield Sphere in front of that and soaked up 6 damage. Hopefully that 6 damage doesn't matter. Then opponent's going to activate the Shepherd of Rot, and we're all going to lose. Was that 3? Yeah, that one's not a zombie. Losing 3 life. Down to 31. Yep. Life total's going to start bleeding. Hope there's some lifelink in this deck. Some way to gain life back, because I guess there's a little bit right here. We'll want to try to get that in. See if we can get it pumped up. We have the Gavany Township, Skull Clamp. Every little bit's probably going to help with mass life loss on the battlefield. Door of Destiny's coming in. Esper Sentinel. Wow, are they just going to pay? No, they don't pay. There's an Armix Filigree Thrash, a really interesting card. One that I've always wanted to mess around with more. Whenever it attacks, you may discard a card. When you do, target creature defending player controls gets -X/-X, where X is the number of artifacts you control, plus the number of artifact cards in your graveyard. Pretty cool. Pretty cool little card. Opponent's going to sacrifice their, looks like the Midnight Reaper, and trigger some stuff, make some zombies, and draw some cards. Yep, 3 zombies coming in. That's going to be a thing with Shepherd of Rot and Door of Destinies. So if Fish wants to swing with that Child of Alara again, I'll happily block with our commander in play. There's a Hangerback Walker. Good card. Play the Gavany Township. Cast our commander. I don't think it makes sense to go anywhere. We'll just pass like that. Gaia Reach Sanitarium for opponent. Hedron Archive into our Esper Sentinel. We draw. It's a Signet. Thassa Deep Dwelling coming in. Yeah, it's a nice play just because it's indestructible and you don't have to worry about the Child of Alara getting it. Ooh, and they've got the Solomon play? Yeah, that's a great play. Love it. Our final opponent, by the way, is D-Manny piloting Ghoulcaller Gisa. A deck that he's had for quite a while, but I think he's retuned it recently because some of its past showings didn't go very well. He said he hadn't updated it in like 4 or 5 years or something like that. So looks like it's running pretty well now. He's got a Soul Ring into play. It makes a bunch of tokens. It makes a bunch of zombies. A lot of zombie tribal synergies and stuff like that. We see the Shepherd of Rot. That's kind of a pain for us right now. The Undead Augur means that they will draw a lot of cards if a board wipe goes off. So, yeah, cool little mono black zombie commander. I feel like doesn't get the love that it necessarily deserves. At the end step here, opponent's gonna Thassa Deep Dwelling on the Solemn Simulacrum, but Fish is tapping up some mana. Let's see what they have. Ooh, destroy target non-basic land. They're gonna shoot our Gavany Township. Don't love it. I mean, this land's pretty strong. Late in the game, you just pump your team up, and, if you do that once or twice, you can usually change the tide of a game. As long as you have a few things in play. I feel somewhat less good about this board wipe, but it probably still needs to happen. Because now we're only on 4 lands after our township getting blown up, and we will lose our ramp. I guess we have this signet to replace it. Fish goes no attacks. Wow, that's surprising. So just gonna keep their finger on the button. I mean, that's scary with the zombies. Yep, Shepherd of Rot. Your opponent's going to lose a bunch of life. We need to find some removal pretty badly. Definitely hurting on the removal. It is a crypt breaker. I mean, the one thing is, with all the card draw they have, they're going to burn a lot of their own life total, so it's probably time to just start going aggro on them. Oh, we're probably going to get rifted. That's probably what's going to happen. Fish is on. Yeah, they have 7 mana. Looks like 8 mana. With blue, it's not ideal. Can attack with the 1 zombie over to Dewubber. Iron Claw Mirror. Nice. I'm not sure why that one's in there. I think we just play the Hangerback Walker, is what we do. X3. Opponent activates the Crypt Breaker. Draws a card. Yep. Activates Ghoulcaller Gisa. Yep. Making more zombies. Draws another card and loses another life. Shepherd of Rot puts us down to 18. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. We draw a Guardian Project. That'll be helpful. Fish is going to sack the Child of Alara. That's a lot of Undead Augur triggers. D-Manny's life is going to be really low. Colfenor back to the command zone. Wait, does Colfenor work on itself? No, I don't think it can target itself. We get a bunch of triggers, though. No creatures left in play for Rayhan, sadly. This is weird, because I don't know which trigger goes to what card. It's kind of strange. Let's get Rayhan. Let's get Esper Sentinel. Let's get the Mouser. Let's get Ornithopter. And let's get the Shield Sphere. And there's all the triggers. So we're going to get a bunch of stuff back. D-Manny's going to lose a whole bunch of life and draw a lot of cards. I'm sure that'll be very scary. We're down to 4 lands, which is pretty terrible. Really don't appreciate the Gavany Township getting blown up. Really just because we needed a land. Pretty rough, especially after that Child of Alara going off. Even the mono blue deck is on 8 lands. Ugh. Not amazing. Skull Clamp, we find a land. It's an Inkmoth Nexus. There's a Dam. We may need that at some point. Oh, this is still during our turn? Oh my god, we have so many cards in hand. Well, that's awkward. Why didn't this die? Oh, it was on the stack. That's why. Interesting. D-Manny's down to 10. Huh. Well, start casting stuff. Inkmoth Nexus. Shield Sphere. Oh, the Skull Clamp went down. Needed the Skull Clamp. Ornithopter. Pass like that, we can't cast anything else. At least we still have some creatures in play. Maybe we should have waited until we had Guardian Project in. Then again, I guess we'd have to discard 1,000,000 to hand size, though. There is that. You know what I think we can do? I think we can dump all the artifact creatures in the graveyard. We cast Teshar. No. Mana value 3 or less. Okay, so discard Rayhan, discard Armix. Just discard this Ironclaw Mirror. I think what we can do is next turn go like Teshar, cast an Esper Sentinel, then get another thing back. Get like a Rayhan back. Seems decent. Would love to catch a land off the top. This is an Armillary Sphere for opponent. If we don't catch the land off the top, might have to think about Guardian Project. But also, I think thinking about this Arcbound Mouser and just trying to get this thing pumped up one way or another is probably going to be a really good idea. Try to gain that life back. Burge Strider. Enters the battlefield. Tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls. If snow was spent to it, it doesn't untap during its next untap step. Sure, I'm not going to love this. It's going to tap down our Hangerback Walker. It's kind of annoying just because, like, it's going to use that to aggro the zombie player. And they're going to Thassa that thing and tap another thing down. Lovely. Taps down our wall. Yep, there's Ramos. 2 mana up. Flying blocking is going to be a thing here. D-Manny not interested in the Ramos. Going to Hero's Downfall on the Ramos. Love it. See if there's a counterspell right here. I feel like there might be. There's a Boros Charm. Get the same job done. Pumps up the Ramos a little bit. It was a nice try. D-Manny does have 13 cards in hand. See if he has another removal spell. Fleshbag Marauder would not be terrible right here. We're a sacrifice deck, so we can do this all day. We do need to get some lands, though. Ooh, no Wood Elves in this deck. There is a Solemn Simulacrum. Probably need to, like, loop a Solemn a couple times to try to get ourselves caught up. That's probably what we need to work toward. Feed the Swarm on the Hangerback Walker? Oh, unless they're going to play a board wipe right here, which would make sense. I think it's a Deluge. That's rough when... Yeah, it is. Deluge X6 at 10 life goes down to 4. Ouch. Champion of the Perished coming in. Oh, that could get big. Ramos goes down, though, and that's largely what I care about. Ramos player has a lot of mana. And 5 colors, so just a lot of tools. A lot of tools to work with. Glimpse of Nature is interesting. So we have 2 1-drops, so we could go Glimpse of Nature or 1-drop, 1-drop. Draw 2 cards. Does not sound awful. Yeah, I think I like that, because we need to get lands into play. Ramp if we can. So, Glimpse of Nature. And I know this would all be a lot better if Teshar were in play, but I think we just have to do it this way. Esper Sentinel. Draw a card. It's a land. Although we can play the Teshar. Yeah, okay, this works. We draw a crystal. It's mana ramp. That works. Ramp is what we need. Oh yeah, next turn we should be able to get a ton of things back. Cast the crystal, get a creature. Cast the Signet, get a creature. Cast the Mouser, get a creature. Or try to get Guardian Project in, probably. Guardian Project's going to be a little rough. Dungeon Geists. There's one I haven't seen in a long time. It's like an ice deck. Looks like it wants to tap everything down. It's going to tap down the Champion of the Perished? Sure. Deadeye Navigator, what? I mean, that's one you probably got to blow up, that card. Been causing problems for a long time. Pairs it with the Dungeon Geists. Thassa, now a creature. Ooh, sending lethal attack over to D-Manny. Yeah, that's a nice little play right there. He said he's the one that did all the hard work for us. Yeah. He was also running the table, but he did take care of the Child of Alara and the Ramos. 3-player will change the dynamic of this game, though, and I'm not sure that I'm really in love with that. We probably won't be able to get this Guardian Project in, which makes me sad. I think we have to play Dam, getting rid of the Deadeye Navigator. That's just not a card you want to mess around with. He said he had 3 removal spells in hand. If he left the tower open, he could have sacked Champion and then killed off a creature to turn off Thassa. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Down he goes. -2. Thassa trigger. Dungeon Geists. Tap another thing down. Soul Bond. Teshar gets tapped. Phyrexian Arena triggers the Esper Sentinel. Ooh, nice. There's our land. All right. Land means we can wait a turn on the Guardian Project, although really want to get the Guardian Project in because we're going to get a lot of creatures back very quickly. And having the Guardian Project in is a very good thing. There's a Beast Whisperer also. Play the Swamp. Start with the easy part. Okay, so maybe I think we go Guardian Project. Oh, we need to blow up the thing, though. I think the play is this. Guardian Project. Oh, nope. Yep, we're not going to be able to do it that way. Okay. I wanted to get the Mana Rocks in. It's not good to wait on the Mana Rocks, though. But I think we just go... We have to play the Dam. Shoot the Deadeye Navigator. It's not a card you want to mess around with. That goes down. We'll play the Mouser, and we'll still draw a bunch of cards, so that seems fine. We can bring something back. Let's get back this Armix. Armix is removal, and if this is in creature form, I can actually take that down. And I think we have a pretty good number of artifacts in the graveyard, so looks like 7 artifacts in the graveyard, and we'll probably have a few more in play. So yeah, Armix can really do a number. We draw a Burnished Heart, and then we draw a land. Love it. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see what happens if we poke with this Esper Sentinel. It hits. Opponent goes down 1 life. And we'll pass like that. We are decently set up now, but we have to watch out for, like, just control effects, removal. The blue deck just makes me nervous because it's a blue deck. Yeah, here comes Tromokratis. Does use a pretty good chunk of their mana, thankfully. Rhymewind Task Mage. There's one you don't see much of. You may tap or untap target permanent only if you control 4 or more snow permanents. They have a lot of snow lands, so they're good to go on that. Next turn, once it untaps. There's a Dungeon Geist coming our way. Yeah, we don't have a flying blocker. It's going to get us. We'll get that Ornithopter back very soon. Flying blocking going to be very important. Tromokratis is going to be interesting, because without our commander in play, we don't want to just, like, lose everything. Thassa Deep Dwelling, end step. Yep. Gonna blink the Dungeon Geist. This is probably gonna hit the Armix. Blinks the Dungeon Geist. Yep, on the Armix. It's disappointing. It gets tapped. Teshar can untap, though. Not that we really want to block with Teshar. Unless we can pump it up somehow, but... Fish is gonna draw an extra card, lose a life. Merciless Eviction. Exile all creatures. Don't love it. Don't love it. We draw a land. I guess it gets rid of all this stuff. Was planning to get a lot done with that Teshar. Well, 2 mana. Let's see. Does it stick? Narset's Reversal. Oh, this is going to be bad. All artifacts? Probably. We draw a Mythos of Nature. Yeah, they go artifact. No, it was still creatures. It was still on creatures. That's better than artifacts. We lost some good stuff. Teshar was doing work for us, and now it's going to be harder to get our things back. Ooh, they put the thing back in their hand. Narset's reversal is tricky like that. Yeah, I don't love that. That means Fish still has a merciless eviction. It's kind of bad. Let's play this Exotic Orchard. This is just going to be the big ramp turn, I think. Very sad about losing the Teshar. Get the Signet. Get the Burnished Heart. Draw a card. It's a land. We actually won't be able to crack Burnished Heart if we play the Crystal, which is disappointing. But yeah, we definitely need to crack the Burnished Heart. That is a thing that 100% needs to happen. So, pass like that, we can sit on this Mythos of Nethroi if necessary. Slaughter the Strong, nice. Each player chooses any number of creatures they control with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices the other creatures they control. That's combined power 4 or less, so, you could keep 2 2/2s, and that's your 4 power. Interesting card. Definitely good for a deck like this. Something that I probably need to think about a little bit more than I do when building, but Dreamstone Hedron coming in. More ramp for opponent. Jeff said that Narset's reversal didn't work the way he thought it was. He thought it was going to. He said he thought he could reselect the type, but nope, that's not how it works. And that does put it back in Fish's hands, so that's not great. We're a graveyard deck. We don't want our stuff getting exiled. So now we need to, bait out the next one. Unless we find, Teferi's Protection or something. No Teferi's in the deck. Yeah, I think this deck just relies on the fact that you can get everything back from the graveyard, so I don't think it has the usual protection effects from Mass Exile, so not ideal. But it's going to activate the Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Down for that. We're going to discard this Murmuring Bosk just because it does damage and our life total is already really low. There's a Phyrexian Walker, nice. Free card draw right there. That's what that is. Wish that Teshar was still in play, though. Naya Charm, return a card from your graveyard to the hand. It's going to be Child of Alara. That's disgusting. With the Mythos of Nethroi, that gives us some ability to trigger the Child of Alara when we want to. That could potentially be very handy. Ramos coming back to play for a lot of mana. And Solemn Simulacrum. Yep. We'll crack our Burnished Heart right here. We have a lot of green in hand, so we're going to get 2 forests. Pitiless Plunderer is interesting. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a treasure token. We don't have a sacrifice effect, though. Oh, if Ramos was one bigger, we could play Slaughter the Strong. Maybe we'll look to do that. Let's play Renata. No, maybe I don't care about Renata. I don't care about Renata that much yet. Get the land into play. Still need to ramp. So let's just bite the bullet and get this crystal in. Make sure we get that done. Get the Beast Whisperer in. Really load up on our draws here. Guardian Project triggers. We draw a card. Nature's Claim is incredibly handy. In fact, that kills a Ramos, is what that does. So we'll probably want to leave up a green for that. Play the Phyrexian Walker. So we'll draw on cast, and then we'll draw on ETB. There's a swamp. Nice. Draw again. Toxic Deluge is handy. Don't need it exactly at this second, but we have enough for the Plunderer. Let's get the Plunderer in case stuff starts dying. Draw. And draw again. 2 more lands. Update cards. Not bad. And we'll probably Nature's Claim Ramos at the end step. Discard the brush land. Once again, it does damage. Don't need that at this low life total. It's turn 10, and we're actually back up to 11 lands, so I think we've made most of our land drops after missing 1 or 2. The Burnished Heart got us back into it pretty good. We've also got 2 Signet-style rocks in play, so not doing too bad now. We have the mana to start being able to do the things that we want to do, but we will have to recast our commander at some point, and it's going to be 8 mana. That's still a lot. Gilded Lotus for opponent, yep. Tromokratis back to play, yep. With that on the stack, we can shoot this Ramos. Ramos goes down. Tromokratis comes in. The Whopper says, Shoutouts to paying 11 to draw 4 and discard 1. Ooh. Oh, that's a Ruinous Ultimatum. Yep. That card's a little busted, to be honest. Our card draw has been thwarted. We do get some treasure tokens back. At least it wasn't exile. Sending the Solemn over to DeWubber. There's a swamp. Play a swamp. Cast our commander. Oh, we could have did that in the reverse order. Yep, whoops. Too late now. Play Renata. Pass like that? Does opponent just tap out and recast their commander? Or do they try to do some other stuff instead? Going for their commander again. 2 mana left. If Ramos comes down, I'll probably slaughter the Strong. We'll probably lose Renata. And then get back Beast Whisperer. Seems like a pretty good idea. To be honest, I wouldn't mind getting the Burnished Heart back also, but that'd be secondary to the Beast Whisperer. Yep, here comes the Ramos. They have 4 mana up. So, yeah, the next turn, really going to set them back to try and recast that. Oh, it's at exactly 4. We need them to cast something. That's disappointing. We could play Toxic Deluge, is what we could do. There's the Ashnod's Altar. Finally, been looking for the sack outlet. Play the Swamp, sacrifice Renata. Oh, why can't we get back the Beast Whisperer? For some reason, we can't get back the Beast Whisperer. Oh, Devotion to Green, something like that. It's unfortunate. Well, get back the Rayhan, I guess, then. There is some correct way to play this, and I don't know what it is. Put it on the Inkmoth Nexus, maybe. Nah, everyone's life's so low that we don't really need to go the Infect route. Yeah, just play Rayhan. Slaughter. We're gonna end up shutting off our Slaughter of the Strong. Sacrifice Rayhan. Colfenor, get. Why can't we get the Beast Whisperer? No idea. Get Burnished Heart. Pump up the Colfenor. Cast a Burnished Heart. Sacrifice a Burnished Heart. Why didn't the thing get bigger? Did I click no? I have no idea why, but Colfenor did not get pumped up, which probably actually helps this Slaughter of the Strong play. Although Ramos still gonna survive, so maybe we're just on Mythos of Nethroi then. Colfenor trigger. Yeah, get back Rayhan, I guess. Get some lands, and we'll sit on the Mythos of Nethroi. The sack outlet is helpful too because the Merciless Eviction. Any good attacks? Not really. I'm gonna attack Fish, actually. They can block with the Solemn if they want to, but it does get a creature off the battlefield. Nice, they're gonna block with Ramos. I was hoping they would do this. We could Deluge for 1 to kill the Ramos. Doesn't solve the Tromokratis problem. Sacrifice Rayhan again. Choose a creature. See if we can try to do this right this time. I don't know what happened last time. Still can't get the Beast Whisperer for some reason. Don't know why that is. Let's get the Hangerback Walker. Oh, if it had 1 or more counters on it, which it does not currently. I see. Deluge for X1. Actually, let's go 2. Kill the Solemn. Oh, they can cast a spell and pump it up. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Corrosive Charm. Destroy target artifact is not the best. It's going to get bigger. Yeah, I should have just went more aggressive with the life. I don't want to lose our commander, though. They draw with the Solemn. Oh, it's toughness. That's why. I kept thinking it was triggering off power, and it doesn't. It triggers off toughness. That's why I was confused. Figured it out. We just need to kill the Hangerback Walker. Could do it with the Slaughter of the Strong. Oh god, opponent has a Scavenger Grounds, which I think they're activating right now. Yeah, they're going to exile graveyards. That's bad. I guess we're going to have to do it with what we have in our hand. Don't like our chances now. Well, I guess Hangerback is still decent. Tameo. That's a problem. Gonna tap the Ramos. Shot for 8. Doesn't untap during its next untap step. Blackblade Reforged. There may not be a next untap step. Equips the Blackblade Reforged. That's 21 power. More than their life total, and also Commander Lethal. Don't get hit by this. Opponent's about to get booped in the snoot. I was right, though. Mono Blue Voltron. Bam, down goes Fish. Ouch, that is a shot. That does solve a lot of problems, though, because Fish's deck just... Ugh. Ramos Charm's not a great time. I mean, it's Ramos who is very strong, essentially as a control deck. Ugh. Not a particularly fun thing to go against. Ginger Brute has haste. We can put this down to 1. Can we get any more power on it? I don't know that we can. Oh, we can get an Inkmoth Nexus and drop the Tameo, which is probably going to be a really good idea. So play the Swamp, play the Ginger Brute, activate Inkmoth Nexus, attack Tameo with everything. Tameo goes down, cast Hangerback Walker for X is a bunch. X is going to be 6, and then we'll play Slaughter the Strong. So we're going to choose Colfenor and our land. 2 Colfenor triggers, Hangerback triggers. Oh, it's always confusing to know which trigger goes to what. Ginger Brute shouldn't be able to bring itself back, so this has to be the Hangerback trigger. I think we do it this way, because Hangerback's a 0/0 in the graveyard. Bam, getting our stuff back. And a bunch of flyers to boot. Hangerback and Ginger Brute back to hand. Ready to go for next turn. This deck is cool. I like this a lot. Opponent says I've spent a stupid amount of mana casting my 7-mana commander in a mono blue deck. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. You're getting to a point where they're probably talking about having spent 30 or 40 mana on casting their commander this game, which is like, if you look at how much mana you can produce in a game of commander, usually it's somewhere between like 70 and 100, depending on how you ramp and how long the game goes and stuff. So like, when you're talking about spending like 1/3 or even half of all of your available mana on casting your commander, it's kind of a thing. It's kind of a thing. Opponent's gonna activate the Gaia Reach Sanitarium looking for answers. We'll discard the Ginger Brute. It seems easy enough to get it back. Factor Fiction. Rapid Hybridize to the second pile. Don't love Spectral Deluge, honestly. Are we going removal, no removal? I think that's what we're doing. Because I don't want to deal with the other stuff either, but this one's kind of bad. We gonna get bounced? Oh! Opponent foretold that bounce spell. And when you foretell something, you have to cast it on a later turn. It can't be cast that turn. So they're going to take a shot here. Tormod the Desecrator. Well, that would have been handy when the Graveyard Exile went off. Send all this stuff sideways. Colfenor does not turn sideways. It does have Vigilance. Love it. Opponent takes a shot, goes down to 9, 3 commander. We'll cast Tormod. I'm fully expecting to get bounced on this turn, so we'll just leave our mana up. I know I could, like, cast Hangerback Walker, but might as well leave the removal up in case they find some magical stroke of luck to do more than we expect them to. Oh, opponent said they misplayed again. They were trying to set a stop. Not sure what they're trying to set a stop for. Spectral Deluge. We get bounced. Propaganda. Ew. I mean, maybe we have the mana. Well, with Hangerback Walker, I guess it depends on whether we have the tokens or not. Draw and discard, sure. Signet. I think we're okay without the Signet. Everything else is a bit more impactful at this stage of the game. Nibelus of Frost. Prowess. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, ice a creature down. Yep. Yeah, those effects. Those effects are annoying. I do think that I'm going to Assassin's Trophy the Propaganda right here. Propaganda is just a giant headache. Opponent gets a land. Comes in untapped. They're at 0 cards in hand. Should be fine. Where'd the Rapid Hybridize go? It's in their graveyard somehow, but I thought we gave that one to them. That's a Solemn Simulacrum. Fantastic card. Cast our commander. Cast Solemn. Get a land. Cast... No, I'm not going to go Tormod yet. I want to leave up the Mythos of Nethroi just in case. Just in case. Turned into a little bit of a slog here. We're at turn 15. Trying to finish out this 1-1. Opponent's got tricks. We've got tricks. See if they can keep the tricks coming. That's a Makokoro. They will probably activate that. Tromokratis coming back. Yep. Does make it hard to attack, is what that does. Hexproof unless it's attacking or blocking, so we can't just shoot it. There's a Phyrexian Arena, that's helpful. Arena, Tormod, Hangerback. We'll go X3, making sure we leave up the Mythos mana. And we have to wait to combat before we can shoot the thing. Man, we're like on the 1-yard line. They're at 9 life. We have 4 creatures, and it just feels so far away. Did not Makokoro at the end step, like I thought they would. Uh-oh. Tap target creature an opponent controls. The creature doesn't untap. It's not the best. It's going to Cipher. Okay, that's not great. Nibelus of Frost is going to tap down our Hangerback Walker. Also not amazing. Prowess will trigger. I almost wonder if they go Sword on the Frost. If they do, we have to shoot the Frost. Cipher's on the commander. Blackblade on the commander. Okay, that's the better of the 2 options. So, like, right here, I mean, we could block and just... we should just shoot it. Hopefully this works the way that I'm hoping it does. Because we don't have all the colors. I wonder if this forces a Makokoro Gaia Reach activation. Yeah, there they go, looking for the counter. Makokoro? We draw its command beacon. Ooh. Sudden substitution. Exchange control of target non-creature spell and target creature. Then choose new targets. That's bad. Wow. And I think they just removed our blocker. Oh, we get to choose? Okay. Same targets. Did they play that right? Exchange control of target non-creature spell and target creature. Oh, are they choosing? It's going to Gaia Reach. Fine with that. Discard the command beacon. Tromokratis still goes down. Fantastic. We're still alive. Have a little bit of life left to our name. This flyer, though, they just put the sword on it and kill us next turn. And most of our stuff's not going to untap here, although we have an Inkmoth Nexus, so We definitely need to keep that up as a blocker. We'll get 2 draws, which could also be helpful. Wow, that was close. I think they could have won it with the sudden substitution somehow. If they took a creature and then shot another creature. I think that works. I have to read the card again. I don't fully understand it. Kristen's told me about how good it is. I just haven't played it much. Haven't played a lot of blue the past 2 years or so. Brings back to our turn. 3 of our creatures do not untap. We get a Phyrexian Arena trigger, though. Demonic Tutor and the Ozolith are cards. Let's try this Demonic Tutor. See where this gets us. Reach, Trample, Protection from Multicolored seems... Well, Walking Ballista is also a card. I think I'm on Walking Ballista. Get the Ozolith into play. Send in Tormod. See what they want to do. They might be thinking about Flyer Sword. Or if they want to protect their life total, then they'll just block and trade. Ooh, they're taken. Fantastic. Should be able to finish them up with this Walking Ballista then. They go down to 5. Walking Ballista time. There's X6 and enough to activate the Inkmoth Nexus in case everything goes wrong. Start shooting opponent in the face. And they scoop it right there. Down they go. What a weird game. This deck, though. This deck was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this because, like, Abzan Graveyard is not really my cup of tea, but this was really fun. Most of the creatures in this deck aren't very good. They don't have a ton of impact, but when you just have a lot of them and they keep coming back, it kind of makes them awesome. And that was super cool. We were definitely awkward at the start because we missed a land drop. We got a land blown up. And it took us a while to claw our way out of that. We had to make a lot of small plays. We couldn't go wild with the Glimpse of Nature. It was like draw 2, make sure we hit a land, do something else, make sure we hit a land, and just, kind of being really tight with our gameplay and making sure we hit those land drops to give ourselves enough resources to get back into it in the late game, which is exactly what we did. The Burnish Chart eventually came along, helped us out quite a bit too, but yeah. This deck is fun. I imagine there's some sort of combo in here with something in this pile. I don't know what the combo is for this deck if it does exist, but from what I could see, it did just look like a value deck. But yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, I don't know, just fooling around with these 0 drops and like having them be decent is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Some things I was thinking about, maybe another sack outlet into the deck, powered up a little bit. Any of the sack outlets are going to be good. I did feel like I wanted to sacrifice more things to get some other stuff back. And the other thing, too, is maybe a slightly better way to close out the game. Again, I'm not seeing what the combo is if it does exist, and it may. It may. You know what it probably is? It's probably like 0 drop, Renata. It comes in with a counter on it. It dies, you get an Ornithopter back, make infinite mana, and then Walking Ballista. That's probably the combo. That's fine. What I might also think about, so if this were my deck, it's not a must, but what I would probably add is a Cathar's Crusade. I think that would be really helpful. You have a lot of these small creatures coming in and out of play. This is just another way to pump them up. That's really easy. You could also look at Gold Knight Commander if you really wanted to, but Cathar's Crusade, just a good card. And that's kind of what I was feeling, because at the end there, I'm like, oh, we still just don't have damage. I get that Abzan value is not supposed to be like a punch out all the damage kind of deck, but at some point you want to be able to press a button and say, okay, I'm set up, now I just need to kill you. And Cathar's Crusade can be that button for you. So that's one that I might think about for this deck, but otherwise, yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. If you have the budget, you could look at some of the doubling season type cards. There's that other green one that was in the Commander product. I can't think of the name. There's a few of those type of things floating around too, depending on how much you wanted to go into the +1/+1 counter theme. Just something to think about, not things that you absolutely have to do, but could be cool nonetheless. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. Help support me and save 15% on singles by using the promo code REPLAY at mothershipaTX.com. Commander Replay t-shirts, available in orange and colors beside orange.